been over a half an hour. Jenny's now off trying to figure out what's going on. What? Don't get what's going on. All I asked for is help on and off the damn plane. Not asking him to carry me or anything. And I paid extra money for the upgraded seats and everything. I just spent a couple $100 on upgraded seats. Never asked for them for free. Well, I got 40 minutes before I get on the plane. Haven't been through security yet. And Jenny's still working on my stupid... I'm not 100% sure exactly what the problem is. But supposedly because I'm an American going over international, they got to make sure I'm okay to fly. And they had to go to their doctors, even though I had hospitalization authorization and bronchi authorization to fly. They got to verify with their doctors because I'm going international, supposedly. We've been here for almost an hour and a half. Oh, an hour 45 minutes now. Waiting to get through. Well, here we go to finish off on our trip back. This is part 3. I kind of want to hold it off for a little while. After I got to the airport, Jenny tried to get me clocked in to get someone to help me because I'm still, at this point in time, I can see right now my phone okay. Anything any other farther distance, I have 2 of everything, but it's getting better every day. And the doctor tells me it's on its way to healing on the fast track. So hopefully by the end of the month, this is the first of the month right now, I will be able to go back to work. But anyway, we were at the airport, and if I keep my eyes closed because I still have a hard time seeing real clear unless I have one eye closed. Anyway, we're at the airport, and Jenny's trying to get me clocked in, saying that I can't see, so I need help on and off the plane. Well, they want a medical report, so she gives them the hospital report. Then they want to see what the hospital come up with. Well, then they decide that my blood pressure's high, even though it hadn't been really. And what was high was my fault for messing up my prescriptions. So they rushed me down. Now we're late for my plane. They rushed me down to the clinic they have in there. They take my blood pressure. I'm 170/80. 169 is highest they said they can let me fly. And supposedly because I'm an American and they can't let me fly over international water. They had all these different stories. So the guy says, just rest for about 15 minutes. We take your blood pressure again. You'll come down. I was very upset at this point in time. Very upset. So I rest. They take my blood pressure again. Now I'm I think it was 175/90. So they gave me this pill. They said, take this, put it under your tongue. I go, what is it? They go, it'll bring your blood pressure down really fast. So I let it dissolve in my tongue, and they made me wait 20 minutes. Took my blood pressure. Now I'm 180. I go, why is it going up? You gave me medication. By that time, this other doctor comes in, who was the head of the clinic, and he owned his own hospital, and he starts telling me how he's going to put me in the hospital, and his hospital is the best hospital around, so it'd be better to go to his hospital than any other, and that he has an apartment on there, so Jenny can go to the apartment. And I already spent 4 days in the hospital and have this huge bill that I pretty much maxed out credit cards to pay for. And I go, I have no more money. I wasn't broke. I had money in savings, and I still had money to go on my credit cards. But I wasn't going to go back into the hospital again. I wanted to get home to America. So he finally says, after he argues with me a little bit, he says, take this pill. He reaches and he has his pouch in front of him. He says, 80 pesos. Take this. This will bring your blood pressure down. So I took it. I should have asked what the things were, but I just want out of there at this point in time. I took it. I waited a half an hour. They took my blood pressure. Now I'm 190/90. So there's no way he's going to let me fly now. He says, I can't fly. He's going to put me in the hospital. I have no choice. I have to go in the hospital. So I'm not going in the hospital. And so we argue back and forth, and I tell Jenny to go home on the next plane, her plane when the flight goes out, and I'll just stay there and die. I don't care. So he finally says, he starts praying to God and stuff, and that I'm going to die before I get to Japan, but he gives me some tranquilizer. I take that. And I wait. They wait me as long as I can before the next plane. They take my blood pressure. Now I'm supposed to be 190 or 195 or 200, something like that, over 100. My blood pressure is going up and up every time they give me something. And I get really upset. They finally say, oh, he's going to let me go. He says he'll lie in the papers, get me through. And I finally get out of there. That took like 2.5 hours for that scenario to go through with all that stuff. They looked at my paperwork over and they said they didn't see where I had a stroke. And everything on me, they said, was in better condition than they would expect for a guy my age. I'm pushing 60. And they said I was more like somebody in their 40s on the condition. Everything came up on the test that was ran on me. And that was the first time a doctor looked at anything, really. We did have a private doctor look at my stuff. And he just said he didn't see where they saw a stroke. They said I had COVID, so I had to bring it. Luckily, I had the papers from the clinic that said I didn't have COVID, didn't show any signs of COVID, and they didn't believe I had any COVID ever. That was just a hospital saying they'd get more money for me. So you got an extra 60. It was 3,000 pesos for the private room, and another 6,000 pesos for the being in a COVID room. So they got 90,000 pesos a day from me for that, which would have been only 3,000 pesos if I would have not been supposedly COVID. But they the tests I went to on a private place said I wasn't COVID. I showed no antibodies being COVID and stuff. So I had that paperwork. So that got me on the plane and flew all the way home, got to Canada. Everything went good. They brought me off the plane there. They took me around, and then the lady said that her day was over, and it was late, and I was in late, and the plane was late, so I'll have to wait till tomorrow for my plane to go home. Okay, that's just how this trip's going. And the guy says, no, that took me over there. He called his boss. They got me on my plane. Flew into Portland. They picked me up in Portland, took me in, and they lost my bags. Took 3 days to get those back, but I got them, and everything was there. Nothing was open. Nothing was lost. So I was home. I got into, when I got in late Thursday, actually it was early Friday morning, I guess it would have been. I got up early in the morning, called my doctor, and I had already sent all the paperwork in from the Philippines, everything into them. So they had it to read, and they told me right away that, no, you don't have, we don't see anything where you had a stroke. Nothing looks life-threatening. We would like to have your girlfriend Jenny available. So they went there late on Friday. So this says, have you come in first thing on Monday around 3:30. That way, if we need to ask her questions, we can call her and ask her some questions about you. Well, I got in there in about 15 minutes. They knew what my problem was. They sent me to a specialist. And I'm going back. I went to specialist on the 2 weeks later. He said I was on the fast track of healing. Basically, there's some nerves that go to your the muscle that runs the side of your eye. It runs, and for some reason the nerves are not sending the signals. And there's many things that can cause this. What I've been told. One is diabetes. I have diabetes, but it's been under control for over 2 years. High blood pressure. Well, I did have problems with blood pressure in the Philippines because I messed up on my medication and was taking a half a dosage. So that may have led to it. Also, sinus infections, a bad sinus infection caused it. I had extremely bad sinus infection before I left. That could have caused it. I had pneumonia. Basically, what the doctors are telling me is I've spent too many years pushing myself, not taking time off to heal. I'm working all the time, sick, not sick, broken bones, going to work. Not resting properly, not sleeping good. And they just said all that together. When I went on the plane, the doctor told me I should be in the hospital. I shouldn't be flying, but I talked to her to let me go anyway. And so when I got there, I had pneumonia extremely bad. I got over it basically by the time I left. But it was basically, the doctor said, I've just been building for something like this for years and years and years. So I'm still off work at this point in time, hoping to go back to work by the end of the month. I'm finally getting where I can drive a little bit with one eye. Boy, having this eye blocked off really causes major issues. I wear these glasses right now that have a patch built into them, so I can keep this eye blocked off. Except I don't like driving because I have such a blind spot on this side. Getting around, I'm starting to do pretty good getting around, but I'm a diesel mechanic, and I have no idea how I'm going to work with one eye. If I was that way my whole life, I probably wouldn't know the difference, be okay. But I'm finding it extremely hard. I'm almost 60 years old, and all of a sudden losing that vision, it's really been hard on me. So if this eye doesn't come back, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm fighting depression right now. I'm over it and everything. I want to get Jenny here, but I don't want to file the papers till I'm back to work because it says you have to be gainfully employed. What happens if 3 or 4 months from now they say that I have to have surgery and I got to go into surgery? Sunroof, sunroof. Boys, love you.
Love you.
See you soon. Hey boys, love you. See you soon. See you, mom and dad. Love you guys. Thank you for a fun Christmas.
Okay.
Let's go to the ocean again someday.
Be careful on your flight. Okay, take care.